ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Sunday Night Football Overtime. Bills, Chiefs. Okay. Well then. You know what this reminds me of before we start tonight? Because there's going to be a lot said about the Chiefs and their demise and the passing of the baton and the torch and this, that, and the third. You know what this feels like? I don't remember the year. But if you know what I'm talking about. I remember, and it's funny, it happened in the exact same venue. It was a Monday night game. Chiefs hosting the Patriots. And the Patriots got ramrodded. I mean, railroad. I mean, run out of the building like 45-14. It was an ass kicking of epic proportions. And there's this epic shot of Brady on the bench, head down, by himself, Gatorade bottles everywhere and cups. Everything's in disarray, and Brady's just sitting there and soaking in this ass whooping. And I was probably one of hundreds of thousands of people talking about the end of an era. It's over. The Patriots stink. The league's caught up to them. It's over. The reign of terror, it's over. Brady's done. They won the Super Bowl that year. And I think they were either 2-2 or 2-3 at that time, whatever the case may be. It was early in the season. And everybody was ready to say the Patriots were done. I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm just saying that's what this feels like. I'm not giving up on the Chiefs. Yes, their defense is not great. I will give you that. I will grant you that. And no, they don't have Bill Belichick calling their defense. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Travis Kelce. And Josh Gordon, if he stays healthy, stays off of the drugs, he could be a big help to them. I wouldn't hold my breath on that last thing, though, because he's had a tough time with that in his career. But I'm just saying, don't be so hasty to announce the end of the Chiefs. That's all. They need some adversity. You know what I said early in the season? I think I said this. It might have even been at the end last year when they lost the Super Bowl. I said, they haven't really saw any adversity, have these Chiefs. Never know, no real adversity. In games, yeah, sure. Down 24-0 or 24-7, down 17-7 to the Titans in the AFC Championship game, down 24 whatever to the Texans a couple of years ago in the AFC divisional round. They've seen in-game adversity. Sure, they've overcome that. Last year in the playoffs, in the divisional round against the Cleveland Browns, Mahomes goes down and they got to win the game with Chad. Don't blame it on the Henny. They've seen in-game adversity, but they've never seen season adversity. Stretches of games where they're struggling, where it seems to appear to be that teams have figured them out. Hey, make them be patient. Take your two safeties, send them back 30 yards, and dare Tyreek Hill to run past those guys. Be physical with Travis Kelce. Hold him, molest him, bump him, hit him. Make him feel you. And dare one of the other clowns to beat you. Pringle, Hardman, Robinson. Somebody else beat me. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Somebody else beat me. Throw it to the back 50 times if you like. We've seen this strategy. Let me just be clear about something. Not everybody is the Buffalo Bills. Not everybody has Josh Allen. Not everybody has the Bills defense. Not everybody has the Bills skill position players and the weapons to go out and score 40 if need be, if they need to get into a shootout with the Kansas City Chiefs or any team like them. So for any of you getting bright ideas, hey, look at what the Bills just did. Why can't we do that? Because you don't have Josh Allen, because you don't have that Bills defense, because you don't have E-Man Sand, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley. You don't have that. That's why you can't do what the Bills just did. Just in case you were wondering. Hey, why don't we do that? Because you don't have those parts. Enough of the Chiefs. We'll end up coming back around to them because I'm pretty sure you guys will bring that up. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are probably in the comment section announcing the demise of the Chiefs as we speak. Let's talk about the Bills, though. This was impressive. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't think they would be able to do what they did tonight, which is what they've been doing to everyone sans for Pittsburgh in week 1, which goes to show you just how good Pittsburgh is defensively. Pittsburgh's offense is the problem, not their defense. Pittsburgh's defense is actually top notch, in case you haven't been watching. But it just goes to show you, and Bills fans will tell you we were sloppy and we made mistakes and we missed opportunities. And sure, they did in week 1. But the Steelers are really good on defense. Let's make one thing abundantly clear. But the Bills have been destroying everyone in their path lately, starting with the Dolphins in week 2. Shut them out 35-0. The next week, they railroaded Washington 43-21. They turned around and blanked the Texans 40-0 last week. And I just didn't think they were going to keep the party going this week. I said, this is going to be a rude awakening for the Buffalo Bills. And I didn't think the Chiefs were going to steamroll them. I didn't think this was going to be an old-fashioned Chiefs 38-20 role reversal slobber knocker where they just slap the hell out of the Bills and say, wake up. This isn't the Houston Texans and Davis Mills. I just thought that the Chiefs would score 35 points. The Bills would realize, damn, all of those ass whoopings we were handing out were against bad teams with marginal quarterback play. And so we got a real one in Mahomes, and our defense still has a ways to go. Not exactly. Not exactly. That defense they were dominant. They got after Mahomes' ass. They made life tough for Kelsey. They pretty much told Tyreek Hill, you can have anything underneath that you would like. You won't get us deep, though. And that's always been my thing is, hey, let the Chiefs have what they want underneath. Easier said than done. Because you don't have Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, 2 of the better safeties in the league. Especially, I think they're the best tandem in the league. You don't have them at safety. Discipline, ball hawks, athletic, and know what to do. But forget about the defense for a second, because while it was impressive, I'm floored by this Bills offense, because even with how good they played defensively tonight, you always felt like, I had people hit me up on socials like, hey, Chiefs are getting their ass whooped. What do you think about this, that, and the third? I'm like, this game's not over. You do realize that, right? And even after the pick by Gregory Rousseau, that was a hell of a play. Because really, that was the play that signaled the beginning of the end. They score in that possession. We're still in the third quarter. That pick by Gregory Rousseau, what it did was it essentially made it so that the Chiefs wouldn't get on the board until the fourth quarter, which made things a lot more complicated. They score there, and we're still in the third quarter with about 3-4 minutes left. It's a different ball game. But what was impressive was, okay, so the Chiefs get it back. They score a touchdown. Shit's getting interesting. The rain's coming down. It's raining cats and dogs. And all of a sudden, the crowd is back into it. And now you need a drive. You're only up 11. It's still a whole quarter to go, essentially. It's about a good 12, 13 minutes left in this fourth quarter. You give it right back to the Chiefs after they just scored. We got ourselves a ball game, folks. And you know what? You're going to get some salty Chiefs fans. Oh, that wasn't roughing the passer. And it wasn't. But you know what? That wasn't no damn hold by Mitch Morse the play before when he ran for the first down. So that wasn't nothing but the football gods righting a wrong. And this officiating crew was ticky-tack tonight. They were calling every damn thing. Anyhow, I digress. The bottom line is they needed a drive, even if they didn't come away with any points on that drive. And they did, okay? Which makes it even worse. But even if they bled clock, they killed all of the Chiefs' momentum, and that was really the story of the game. You jump out to a 3-0 lead or 7-3 lead, and the Chiefs respond with a touchdown. Now it's 10-7, and you're thinking, oh, shit, here we go. And the Bills say, no, offense, Allen, company, strike to E-Man Sand. Just like that, they're back ahead. Defense gets a big stop on 4th down, gets the football back to the offense. Another touchdown strike this time, or actually field goal, 17-10. Then the defense gets another stop. Touchdown to Dawson Knox, 24-10. And that put the pressure on the Chiefs. You know what that affected? Because it's easy to stay patient if the score is 13-10. It's easy to stay patient. Okay, you want to play your safeties back? I'll run it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'll dump it down to Darrell Williams. I'll dump it down to one of these receivers, Mecole Hardman or Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce. I'll stay patient. It's a close ball game. I got no worries and no reason to panic. You know when shit starts to change? When you look up at the scoreboard and you're like, damn, we down 2 scores. Well, shit, it's 31-13. We got to do something. That's when you start to press. Now Mahomes isn't willing to take that 5-yard check down anymore. Now he's got to roll out and try to push it down the field and make something happen. Now he's taking sacks because he's trying to wait for somebody to come open. And now the pressure's finally getting there, and he's got to do something. And now he's got to ground it. He's got to throw it at somebody's feet. Now that patience that he had early in the game, okay, you want to play your 2 deep safeties? You want to give us a 2 deep look? I'm going to dump it down. We're going to run it. Oh, no worries. It's a light box. I'm gonna check to a run. We're going to take advantage of this. It changes when that pressure is applied, when you look up at the scoreboard and these Bills, they not bullshitting around. They not playing with your ass. Watch yourself. I ain't playing with your bitch ass. You better score some damn points. So now Mahomes is like, all right, I got to get aggressive. But the Bills weren't having that. And that's what was impressive tonight, was the fact that they said, we're going to beat you up on offense, and we're going to make you be patient on defense. So we're going to take our offense, we're going to run it up, we're going to run the check up, and then on defense, we're going to dare you to stay patient while you're watching us run the check up on the scoreboard. Now you're getting nervous. Now you're getting antsy. Now those check downs aren't doing it for you because now you got to start watching the clock. Take this 5-yard check down. I'm converting on 3rd and 3, but I just bled 3 more minutes of the clock. Now the clock is no longer my friend. This was impressive even after a rain delay. I was thinking, man, that might be just what the doctor ordered for the Chiefs. You know, this Bills football team was so hot in the first half. Maybe this rain delay cools their asses off. They come out, they're a little lethargic. And, you know, that would have been an excuse if that would have happened. Same old bees. Same old Bills in the second half, taking it to Mahomes' ass. Even though the offense wasn't as prolific until they needed them, defense stepped up, made a play, pick 6, Micah Hyde. This Bills team is dangerous. I still don't know if they've got the antidote or not. Last year was huge, though, because they got that postseason experience. They got some wins under their belt. They got to the AFC Championship. This could be the year. But these young guns, man, here they come. Herbert and Allen. These young boys, man, here they come. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. These young boys, man. And Mahomes is a young boy himself. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. He's only in year 4. It feels like year 20. But this is going to be a fun year, I think, because I'm not counting Mahomes out. These Bills look legit. Did you see their schedule? How do they not end up with the #1 seed in the AFC? Can somebody explain? They play in the AFC East first and foremost. It might be the worst division in the AFC. I guess there's the AFC South. So I take that back. I stand corrected. They're the second worst division in the AFC. They might be because I think the AFC South is the worst division in football. They might be the second worst division in all of football, the AFC East. They're going to mop that division up. They might sweep that division straight up. The Patriots stink. They should have lost today. They already mollywopped the Dolphins in Miami. So they got them in Buffalo once more. And the Jets, even though the Jets always play the Bills close, the Jets stink. The Jets stink. So their schedule looks real doable. If they beat Tennessee, I don't know the next time they lose a game. So now the playoffs, because the Chargers, although they're playing well, they're going to lose more games. They're not there yet. They're where the Bills were 2 years ago when they first made it to the playoffs with Josh Allen. That year they lost to Houston in Wild Card Weekend. They're where the Bills were then. So they're not going to end up 14-3 or 15-2 like the Bills could. I'm not saying the Bills will. But I don't see the Bills finishing any worse than 13-4. The Chargers are going to lose more than 4 games. Trust me. They play in the AFC West first and foremost. They're going to lose 2 or 3 games in the division by itself. And then they're going to lose a game or two they got no business losing because they play a lot of close games. When you play in a lot of close games, there's years where you find ways to win, but there's also a game or two there where we should have won that game, and you don't. How does the AFC playoffs not go through Buffalo? I don't know. This was a bit of a statement. I hate the statement game, but this was a statement. Loud and clear. I'm just going to say this, and we're going to get to your comments. Do not write off the Kansas City Chiefs. Just going to say that. And let's get to the comment section. So, Jesse Prescott, thank you for your membership. Stand up, Jesse. Come on, man. Stand up. You are now officially a part of the Mob Squad. You officially in the building. Mob, you know what to do. Show Jesse Prescott some love. Make him feel welcome. He is now a member of the MOBB. Welcome aboard, Jesse. Glad to have you. Looking forward to chopping you up. Chopping it up with you, I should say, not chopping you up. But no, I do feel like chopping some shit up after what this day has brought forth. But I'm glad you are aboard, man. And I look forward to chopping it up with you. And should be good times. Anyway, thank you for your membership. Let's see. Where are we now? Got one from Jesse Prescott, the newest member of the squad. Thank you for the super chat, Jesse. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Jesse, writes, so you're telling me there's a chance? No. Okay. I'm like Red's dad in Friday. You want some too, old man? No. Boy, get your ass in this car. Hell no, we don't have a chance. Somebody hit me up on socials, was like, so I'm watching the Chiefs. I literally, Jesse, and you might have sent this comment before I went on my little diatribe, but I literally just explained to you why other teams can't duplicate what the Chiefs just did. It's always comical listening to national broadcasts because they have no idea. They live in a bubble. They only study the teams that they have going into that week's game. So they have no idea what Washington's doing right now. They have no idea that our defense is arguably the worst in all of football right now. They have no clue. So they're talking about, you don't think Ron Rivera's watching this right now and he's looking at what they're doing. And Chris Collinsworth's like, hey, and Washington's, they're the perfect team for it because they've got that front four of all those first round picks. Yeah, we can't buy a sack right now. We can't get pressure on Mahomes, and we damn sure don't have the discipline to have 2 deep safeties do the shit the Bills did today. And we don't have Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker. We don't have Tre'Davious White at cornerback. We don't have any of the pieces that the Buffalo Bills have. So no, we can't do what they did. We can't duplicate what they did. So no, I'm not telling you there's a chance. You really, really think? Even in Travis Kelce, he might have a concussion. He might not play this week. You really think we're going to stop Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense from scoring less than 32 points? Really? Look yourself in the mirror and utter those words and try and stop yourself from laughing and smiling while you do it. You won't be able to do it. Because that you're lying to yourself when you look into the mirror. It's easy to say it to somebody else because you don't got to look yourself in the mirror and see those words actually coming out of your mouth. When you look at yourself and you say that, you go, man, you got to be shitting me. Who the hell you think you're talking to right now, man? You watched the first 5 games. Hell no, we don't have a shot. Thank you for the super chat, Jesse Prescott. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, positive note, Lou, Washington football team in same position as Kansas. No, we're not doing that. We don't play the, hey, well, at least we're not as bad as the Jaguars. That is the biggest loser talk ever. When you start comparing yourself to some of the worst and to make yourself feel better. I'm not in the business of feeling better at somebody else's, what's the word I'm looking for here? Come on, brain. At somebody else's expense, okay? I'm not in the business of trying to make myself feel better because other teams may have it worse off. No, we stink. One of the biggest problems with what has transpired this year is we went into the season and we bought all of the damn hype. We let all of these media publications and all of these coaches and players and all of the shit that we saw and the glimpses and all of the things we heard, we let that shit seep into our brains, and we know better as fans because we've seen this shit for over 30 years, and we let it seep into our brains because we wanted to believe this defense was legit. And it's not. And just so you know, Kansas City and Seattle, even though Russell Wilson is hurting right now, they still have Russell Wilson and Patrick effing Mahomes. And who do we have? Don't put us in the same conversation or boat as those two teams. They both got Hall of Fame quarterbacks. We got Taylor Heineke and Ryan Fitzpatrick and Kyle Allen as our quarterbacks. So no positive note there to be taken. Metaphor. 0. Big Money Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Big Money Sonny. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Writes, KC gonna violate us without any Vaseline next week. I second that notion. And I truly believe that it will be a bloodbath next week. They're going to be pissed. They're going to look at us like food. This is the reason the Chiefs, you can't dismiss them, or that division for that matter, is that they play the NFC East. And everybody but Dallas should look like food to every team in that division, the Broncos and the Chargers and the Chiefs. If you're having some trouble, you smile when you look at the schedule and see any NFC East team except for Dallas. You go, whew, boy, we got our NFC East get out of jail free card. Man, we needed that. The Chiefs were struggling and they were at 1-2. And guess who they were able to go take a visit to? The Philadelphia Eagles. Mahomes throws 5 touchdown passes. They score 42 points. All is right with the world. They get a win. They're back under 500 again, and now they're going to another NFC East team, and they feel good about it. Whew. Washington on the schedule. Oh, I'll throw 4 or 5 more touchdown passes. We'll score 40. We'll win. Let's recalibrate and see if we can't turn this thing around. Sounds like a plan. So I'm with you, Big Money Sonny. I don't see how we stop them from putting up 30+ on us. Easy. Captain Spartan 04. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Captain writes, you touched on it a bit Thursday, but who's your all-time starting defensive line? I'm hoping Mean Joe Green is with Aaron Donald on the interior. I couldn't sit here and tell you that. That's not something you try to do on the spot. That's something you would have to sit down and actually make up a list of. Aaron Donald is definitely on that line. If you consider Lawrence Taylor a linebacker, depending on what kind of defense you're playing, 3-4, 4-3. If you're playing a 3-4 and he's one of your edge rushers, so be it. I guess he wouldn't be a defensive lineman. But hey, I don't know who those guys would be. would have to sit down and make a list. There's so many great players in this league that have come through those white lines and blessed us with their presence. So it'd be hard to sit there and kind of make up something on the fly. Buku Wa Eli, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, we've put up the most on Buffalo. I say we go 11-6. He can't be talking about the Washington football team, right? I'm gonna just keep going. I hear he can't be talking about the Washington football team. He's probably talking about somebody else. Lurks of Orthanic, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for your membership and being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, you're right, Lou. This is the first time these Chiefs now face a long climb back to control their season. Washington football team, Titans, Giants are their October games. They got to win. They'll get 2 out of 3 of those for sure. They'll beat the Giants. They'll beat Washington. And again, they got this pattern going where when they get under 500, there's an NFC East team waiting for them on the other side to make sure that they don't go 2 games under 500. So eventually they're going to snap out of this funk, right? So they lose to the Chargers to drop to 1-2. They get the Eagles, they get back to 2-2. They lose to the Bills. They got the Washington football team. They'll get back to 3-3. They could lose to the Titans. They might win that game. I'm not sold on the Titans, but they should have Julio Jones back by then. We'll see. But let's assume they lose that game. I don't think they will. They get to 3-4. They got the Giants waiting on the other side of that. Now you're back to 4-4. Eventually, they're going to stop winning one, losing one, because at that point, you'd run out of non-Dallas Cowboy NFC East teams. You've used all of your NFC East get out of jail free cards at that point. So then they got to actually turn it up. And I think they will be ready to do that at that point. So they could conceivably win all 3 of those games, though, honestly speaking, and get on a little win streak, get over 500, and start to build some confidence. But it'll be interesting to see what they do. This is a really rough stretch for them, and this is the first time in the Mahomes era they've seen adversity, true season adversity. Never really been in this position. They got a couple of threats in their own division for the first time. I don't really consider the Raiders a true threat, especially after what they did today. But the Broncos are a solid team. I don't think they're a world beater, but I still think they may be able to qualify for postseason play. We'll see. But that's 2 straight losses for them after 3-0 start. And we all kind of knew the 3-0 start for the Broncos was kind of fool's gold because of who they played. But you still got the Chargers too at 4-1, and they've already beaten the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens, with this Chiefs football team. But I'm not gonna count them out. I'm not willing to do it. They've built up enough equity with me for me to feel like, okay, they can find a way to pull themselves out of this rut that they're in. Let's see if we got any more super chats, and we do. John Cedillo, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy John writes, while Dallas doesn't have the same caliber of defense as Buffalo, they have the weapons to keep pace and can take advantage of the Chiefs' defense. Oh, yeah, they can. That's why I said every non-NFC East team except Dallas. Or every NFC East team except Dallas. So Dallas is the only one that has a legitimate shot at beating the Chiefs in our division. Because defensively, I think they can do enough. I think their front four can harass. Similar to the Eagles' front four actually harassed Mahomes. Their problem was in the secondary. They had no answer for Tyreek Hill. That was their problem. Couldn't cover Travis Kelce, but more importantly, they couldn't cover Tyreek Hill. And they had about 80 penalties that negated touchdowns and big plays as well. They couldn't get out of their own way. The Cowboys will be able to play enough defense. I think where their downfall might be is they might be too cocky with Trayvon Diggs because he's having such a great year. They might think, we could put Trayvon Diggs on Tyreek Hill, and that's how they might get scorched. They might get scorched thinking that they got a stud and we can man them up. Okay, get your ass smoked then. But as you mentioned, to your point, even if they give it up on defense a little bit and they get into a shootout, they're capable of going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs. You know, they're capable of winning a 42-38 shootout with the Chiefs. They're capable of doing that. So that's going to be a fun game, and I think that's a little bit later on in the season for Dallas. And by then, the Cowboys, you won't be able to tell them nothing. Their confidence will be through the roof, and who knows what the Chiefs will be at that point of the season. I contend that they'll be trying to get their lives together at that point, and they'll just be starting to rev it up. So that'll be a good game. I think that's going to be sometime in late November, early December, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what happens. Captain Spartan 04, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Chiefs, NFL Braves, early struggle to get over 500. I don't like to put the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are such a dominant team and they won a Super Bowl. The Braves haven't won a World Series. So I don't want to put them in that kind of category where we're giving the Braves a little too much respect as if they've done something, you know. From the standpoint that you're, describing, maybe it's a fair comparison, being that the Braves were in the NLCS last year and they struggled, and they've won the division 3 years in a row now 4, I think it is, straight. And they struggled, during the regular season to get their wits about them. People thought they weren't going to win the division. The Mets or the Phillies were going to be, one of those teams to beat. And they figured it out. It took them a while. The biggest difference is, I don't know if the Chargers are going to allow them to do what the Braves were allowed to do, which is hang around. While they're bullshitting around, the Chargers are winning ball games. So I don't know if they'll look up and say, "Oh, okay, y'all still playing? All right, we're gonna come take this division from me because y'all don't know what to do with it." I don't know if that'll be the case. When they look up, when they finally get their shit together, mind you, the Chargers have already beaten them, so they own the tiebreaker right now as it stands, and they did it in Arrowhead. So now the Chiefs have to come to LA, which, I mean, still the Chargers, but the more you win, the more the fans show up. You know how it goes. These fair weather fans come out of nowhere in droves. You start winning, all of a sudden, you got a bunch of fans you didn't have before. So I don't know if they'll be able to do what the Braves did and come back and ultimately win the division. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Metaphor. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes? Disagree, but hey. So no 5 keys this week. No point. No. Look, just because I don't think we're going to win. How many times have we done this song and dance before where I told you, I think we got no chance. That's what we got. We up against a machine too strong. And I still did all of that. You still go through the motions because there is a path to victory. We're just not going to take it. Okay? There's still a way. The Chiefs obviously are not invincible. And I told you guys that last week. I told you guys all of that this week. I even said it after the loss today or yesterday. This Chiefs team, the Green Bay Packers should have lost to the Bengals today. These teams are not unbeatable. We're just not good enough to beat them. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but what it means is it more likely than not won't happen. I'm still going to tell you how it could happen, what we need to do to make it happen, but the problem is we're not going to go out and execute. So, of course, you're still going to get the key. If that were the case, why do any videos? Why do any videos? You know I'm not giving up. That's not in my DNA. I'm not giving up. I just told you I don't think this season is going to be what I wanted it to be, which was competitive to the very end, the bitter very end. The competitive portion of the season has a chance to be over by the bye week. That's what the loss today meant. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be here every single week rooting like hell for the team, because it's Ron's plan. It's a process. I knew that when I signed up for Ron back in January of 2020. I knew what I was signing up for. So no, the plan hasn't changed. Maybe some of the routes that we're going to take on the way, but the plan still remains the same. I'm not getting out of the car. The seatbelt isn't coming off, and I'm not taking, any bathroom breaks. I'm good. I'm ready to go. We may have to take a couple of detours. Again, some of the things we thought were going to happen, they didn't. But nonetheless, we're still going to get to our destination, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. Whether right or wrong, we're still going to get to the destination. Thank you for the super chat, Metaphor. Greatly appreciate you. TA, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Saga Asamaran writes, you said it. We stink. It's sad how the level of play gap is so blatant between our games and the actual good teams. Chances next week are slim to none. Facts. And I did say it today. I hate that I said it, but it's true. When the frustration really seeps in when you think about what this defense was supposed to be and what this defense truly is. Because as frustrated as I was with Taylor Heineke's play today, I've said this before. We weren't supposed to be leaning on whomever was at quarterback, whether it was Ryan Fitzpatrick, Taylor Heineke, or Kyle Allen. We weren't supposed to be relying on that guy to have to score 30-plus every single week for us to win ball games. That was never supposed to be the plan going into the season, and that's not supposed to be the plan now, even though we realize the defense stinks. This defense has been a major disappointment. I can't remember the last time I've been duped like this with this team, because I always know better. So I always put up my guard. I always tell you guys, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Expect the worst. Normally, I set the bar for myself. I set the bar extremely high. I'm going to die trying to hit it. For this football team and my expectations, I set the bar extremely low. And if we hit it, I feel like we hit a milestone. And then as we proceed and they show me that they deserve to have the bar raised, then I elevate it. This year, I set the bar high for the defense. Now, I wasn't talking top 5 like a lot of people out there, but I thought this defense would be really good. They would keep us in ball games and they would give us a chance. This defense, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch NFL Network. I don't watch Fox Sports 1 or any of these shows. So I didn't really buy into all of that stuff. But you hear it, though. Other people bring it to my doorstep. People, I'm in my Washington football team bubble, and we're hyping each other up, and you look at this defense, and you see the changes that were made, and you feel like, on paper, we're better. And then you hear everybody talking about this defense and how good it is and how Washington could be the biggest challenger to the Buccaneers in the NFC because of this defense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to give them a chance, coupled with that ferocious Washington defense. And I bought that shit hook, line, and sinker. Not the part about challenging the Buccaneers. Not that shit. That was bogus. Just the defensive part. That this defense, with all of these first-round picks, with William Jackson III being added at cornerback, with Kendall Fuller, with Landon Collins coming back, year 2 of Cam Curl, year 2 of Chase Young, year 3 of Montez Sweat. We're getting Matt Ioannidis back. How big is that? I bought into it hook, line, and sinker. And then you watch week 1 and you say, that wasn't the start I was expecting. But you say, okay, it's week 1. Justin Herbert made some throws, man. You make yourself feel better about that. Man, we got to be better. It's week 1. We'll be fine. We got the Giants. They were awful in week 1. We should really take it to the Giants. I mean, really put the screws to those boys. And then Daniel Jones comes out firing BBs, and they go right down the field. And that's 2 weeks in a row we gave up an opening possession touchdown. And you saying, what the is going on? But then you settle in. You sack Daniel Jones a couple of times. You start to put pressure on him. You start to hit him. And you're like, okay, this is more like it. You take a lead going into halftime. It's only 13-10, so you're feeling good. You're like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to feel like. It's what it's supposed to look like. It's 14-10, something like that. And then you don't get a single stop in the second half until the final possession of the game. And you go, second to last, I should say. And then you go, where the hell do they do that at when you play elite defense? When does that happen? When does a team have 5 straight scoring possessions? And you're like, well, we won, but damn, this defense is starting to become a little alarming. And then you go to week 3 and you say, hey, this is a test. You got Ron talking about this is a litmus test and it's a measuring stick game. And you got Chase Young talking about how much weight we carrying. And we go to Buffalo and we blink twice and it's 21-0 and we are getting our asses obliterated. Now, we fought like hell to cut it to 7, but we ultimately look up and Josh Allen is keying on the sidelines with 5 minutes left in the ball game, chumming it up with teammates because he's done for the day, treating this shit like a damn preseason game on our ass. And you ask yourself, how did we get here? Then you look the next week, you say, hey, we got Atlanta, man. They averaging 16 points a game. They can't score on nobody. The Giants had those boys in the fourth quarter with 6 points on the scoreboard. They can't bust a damn grape offensively. This should be the game. This is the one. All these other quarterbacks we've played in the first 3 weeks, they got mobile quarterbacks that can move and hurt us. We got a stationary target this week. This is the week we turn shit around. Right here. Falcons, they stink. Oh, really? Now do they? Interesting. Then you get a 30 spot put on your head. Now you win the game, just like against the Giants. But that's when I've realized this defense don't have it. They're not good. This defense is awful. So that's a bitter pill to swallow. When you go into the season thinking, knowing that your defense is supposed to be good, and that's one of the groups you're going to be able to rely on, if nothing else. We had no idea what this offense was going to be like. We had no idea if special teams was going to ever come to the party. They never do. We invite them all the time, but they rarely show up. We've even got special teams contributions this year. The defense has been absent every single week. I can't think of a time where I bought into something, some aspect of the team this much. And I should know better. We've had the no-fly zone. What was the stupid ass secondary name with not Brandon Merriweather, with DJ Swearinger? Forgot the name of that shit. You know, we had, what was the name of the D line? We had all these stupid ass nicknames that we came up with. People came up with. This one takes the cake, man. Thank you for the super chat, TA. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, JL Smooth, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, my guy, look, Bills Mafia is here and we're not going anywhere. Let's effing go. People doubted us in this game. Yes, I was one of them. I'm not going to sit here and act as if I thought you were going to win tonight because I did not. This was really impressive, John. It really, really was. And I talked about it at the top of the show. I don't know if you just got here or not, but this was really impressive. I said this, and I don't know if you were here for this, but I'll say it again for you. I don't know how you don't end up the number 1 seed. If you stay healthy, I don't know how you don't end up with the number 1 seed in the AFC. You play in arguably the second worst division in all of football. Your schedule is not brutal. You know, I look at the next 3 or 4 games and I say, shit, why you can't win all of those? How you don't end up 14-3? Beyond me. I don't even know what your schedule looks like. But how you don't end up 14-3? No worse than 13-4? Behooves me. I think you'll end up with the number 1 seed. Who's stopping you from getting the number 1 seed in the AFC? The Chargers are going to lose games. I said this at the top of the show. The Chargers are where you were 2 years ago when Josh Allen made the postseason for the first time. That's where the Chargers are in their process. So they're going to lose 5 or 6 more games. They're going to end up 11, and that might be good enough to win their division because the Chiefs aren't what they were in the past. So they might end up 11-6. No better than 12-5. But you should end up 13-4 in worst case scenario. Worst case. Y'all are legit, man. Y'all are legit. Kevin Ocat. Thank you for the super chat, Kevin O. Greatly appreciate you, writes. That Packers game almost gave me a heart attack. You know what the funniest part of that game was? First of all, it was a hell of a game. I enjoyed that game thoroughly. The funniest part of that game was when the Cincinnati kicker thought he made the kick. I've never seen anything like it in my life. So for those of you who haven't seen it, the rookie kicker, Evan McPherson for the Cincinnati Bengals in the overtime period, after both teams had already missed kicks to win the game multiple times. I think the Packers had missed 2 already, maybe 3. 3 had already been missed by the Packers, and 2 had already been missed. Well, 1 had already been missed by Cincinnati. This was the second one that he was about to miss. And he kicks it, and the shit is right down Broad Street. All right, when he kicks it, but the wind was playing some tricks with the football, man. So he kicks it, it's right down Broad Street. He doesn't wait to see it go through the uprights. He jumps on his holder. The offensive lineman who snapped him the ball, he's celebrating. They're jumping up and down, and they're going at it. And he's waiting for the rest of his teammates to bum rush him. And he's looking at Packers players fist pumping and shit. So he turns around and he looks at the goalpost. He's like, what happened? You know, I was so distraught after the Washington game. And as I'm setting up the stream for the Washington game, I'm watching the Green Bay Packers game on my computer monitor. Got like 4 games in front of me as I'm setting up. And that made me laugh. I needed that laugh so badly. I was in a bad mental space going into the stream. That loosened me up. I needed that laugh. Without it, that stream might have been miserable. But that sent me into a different headspace. It cleared my mind because I like to laugh. As you can tell, I'm a goofy guy. That gave me what I needed to go into the stream in a much better mood than I was when I initially was starting the stream. So that was hilarious. That Packers game was crazy. But the team that needed to win won. The Packers. I told you, though, and I keep saying this, Kevin, this feels like the 2019 Packers team that made it to the NFC Championship game that got blown out. Like, this feels like a house of cards. Like, any week, the Packers can lose. Any week, the Packers can win unless they're playing someone dominant. Then they're going to get their asses handed to them. I don't think this Packers team is championship caliber. Not like last year. I thought for sure the Packers were going to win the Super Bowl last year. Or at least play and participate in it and represent the NFC in it. They feel like they're far from it. Despite 4-1, they feel like they're far from the team that I saw last year. They feel more like the team that was good in 19. We'll see. Trucker Mark USA. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Trucker Mark writes, John Gruden can't win the games that you should be. Yeah, that's why the Raiders aren't going to be like a serious contender, because these are the kinds of games, if you're serious, you got to beat the Bears with Justin Fields, man, at home. Come on, man. Can't lose that game at home. And scoring 9 points. But you know, they had a lot on their plate this week. That Gruden stuff came out, what, Thursday? That shit sent shockwaves through that whole locker room. And it probably was a major distraction over the last 72 to 96 hours for them. And it showed. But this is who they are, though. Even without the distractions, they do this every year. So I'm not shocked. Lurks of Orthanic. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a valued member of the MOBB, who writes, looking at Bills' schedule, they could totally go 14-3. Bucks are the only top caliber threat ahead in week 14, and assume they drop a trap game somewhere else. Yeah, and I haven't even looked at the schedule, but I just think to myself, they play in the AFC East. They play the AFC South, which is the worst division in football. They play in the second worst division in all of football. They're playing the worst division in football head-to-head. So they've already beaten the Texans, shut them out. They got the Jags coming up here shortly. They get the Titans here shortly. And they'll also get the Colts at some point. They should sweep that division. Maybe Tennessee gets them. Maybe. But they should sweep that division. Worst case scenario, they come out of that thing 3-1. They should sweep their own division. That's 6 wins. That's 9-1. Okay. You've already mopped up Washington as that one team in the NFC that you get with this 17-game schedule. So that's 10-1 right there. Now, I don't know where the rest of their games fill in. You got division winners because they won the AFC East last year. So you get Kansas City. You get Baltimore. No, you got Pittsburgh in week 1. Excuse me. They already lost that game. And there's one more division winner. And, well, they play the AFC South, so it doesn't matter. So the 2 division winners, Pittsburgh and Kansas City, well, they played both of them already. So I don't really know. And I don't know what NFC division. I'm trying to think what NFC division, because I don't think they've played any NFC teams outside of Washington already this season. But you said the Bucks, right? So they got to play the NFC North. You just told me they play the Bucks in week 14. So that means they play the Bucks, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints. They should beat every one of those teams except for Tampa. And that's probably it. Tampa should be the only team that if they lost that game, you wouldn't be surprised. If they won, you wouldn't be shocked either. I don't see how they don't go. And that was without me even knowing their schedule. I don't see how they don't go. Worst case scenario, 13-4. But they should be 14-3, realistically. Captain Spartan 04. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Cap writes, Night Lou, how did the Chiefs fix their defense in your opinion? I thought they should have brought back Justin Houston. Jaron Reed wasn't a horrible addition. The biggest issue I've always had with the Chiefs is I thought they've actually done some really good things with their football team. You saw one of their corners, Rashad Felton. I thought he was balling tonight. Or Fenton, I think his name is. Fenton out of South Carolina. Thought he was balling tonight. I've actually thought they've done some good things with some of these draft picks. The gay kid can run from Mississippi State. I loved Bolton. Anybody that watched my draft coverage knows I loved Bolton. I wanted Washington to draft him. So, and he played his ass off tonight. Like, they got some stuff. My biggest issue has always been the lack of pass rush. Outside of Chris Jones, I am not a Frank Clark guy. You already know that. Frank Clark it is a really solid player, and I think he's good enough to be your PR2, pass rusher 2. He's nobody's pass rusher 1, right? So I think they're missing a dog off the edge. Because if you got Chris Jones, like tonight is a great example. No Chris Jones. Was Josh Allen under duress when they didn't blitz at all tonight? At all? At any point? No. Now, I can answer that for you. No, he wasn't. So for me, the biggest issue with the Chiefs has always been lack of pass rush. You know, they could use Tamba Hali and Justin Houston right now. It would really complete the defense. It really give them a fighting chance because then you don't have to be as aggressive in blitz, leaving some of those guys on the back end. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, Nick Sorensen should never be one-on-one with Stephon Diggs 45 yards down the field. That's never a smart deal. Okay. And they love them some Sorensen. They love him to death. And he's done some really good things for them, but you got to draw the line somewhere. But when you blitz, you put yourself in positions where you got Nick Sorensen 45 yards down the field, one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. I'll take Diggs in that matchup 10 times out of 10. So, yeah. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Big Money Sonny, greatly appreciate you. Who writes, you're right, Lou. We got bamboozled again. We did. We got sold a bill of goods. And generally, I'm the guy that is quick to tell you, nah, I'm good. You know, when you make eye contact with that person that's trying to hawk off some stuff, that's trying to sell some hot merchandise, you know when you make eye contact, shit, he coming over here. But I'm the dude that's quick to tell you, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate you. I'm good. I look you dead in your eyes. I'm walking past a kiosk in the mall, and they dying for you to make eye contact so they could try to get you to try their product. Nah, I'm good. I'll tell you real quick. Nah, I'm good. Thanks. And not even break stride. Nah, I got a little something for you here, bro. Nah, I'm good. Hey, bro, you got on some dope foams. Hey, let me clean those for you. Let me show you our product. Nah, I'm good. Don't even break stride. But I actually stopped this year. Normally, when they try to sell me some shit with this team, I normally don't break stride. Nah, I'm good. I know better. Been doing this for over 30 years. I'm good. I actually stopped and let them sell me on this damn defense this year. I sat there and I sucked that shit up. I soaked it up and I actually bought some of the shit. Now I got buyer's remorse. Yeah, we got bamboozled again. But I feel even worse because normally I keep my guards up. I'm not usually like Deontay Wilder. My shit ain't down. I ain't catching blows. I usually got my shit up here. I'm like Floyd with mine, man. Got this shell defense. You ain't hitting me because I know better. I'm rolling with the punches. I put my shit down, man. And they got me with the 1-2. And now I'm on the canvas like Mike Tyson, trying to put my mouthpiece back in my damn mouth, seeing stars, wondering how the hell did I get here? I'm discombobulated. My equilibrium's been knocked off. And I still can't figure out why the defense is so goddamn bad. So, yeah, we got bamboozled again. You're damn right we did. This one feels worse than all the others. John Livingston, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. JL Smooth, greatly appreciate you. My guy JL Smooth writes, just got here when I sent that. I figured you did because you sent it as if you didn't hear what I had said to start. I can always tell when somebody just got here by their comment. And, you know, usually you're dialed in and you would have commented soon as the game was over had you been here when it was over because you were so excited. But you had to soak in all of that. You had to hear your boys talk after the game and all that stuff. So you probably got here after all of that. But he says, can we talk about Greg Rousseau and Boogie now getting time? These guys make plays. I was a big Gregory Rousseau guy, but I said he wasn't, you know, worthy of a top 10 pick. But I said, man, this dude's got talent. He just needs to end up in the right place. I thought he was a first-round pick. There were a lot of people out there that didn't think he was first round. Oh my God, did you see his 3-cone time and this, that, and the third? And I was like, yeah, he may not be the most explosive dude, but he's raw. He just started playing defensive line. They were using him at 3-tech, and they were using him inside at Miami. Like, let somebody line this dude up outside. He's got length. He's got long-ass legs that eat up tons of grass. Let him learn the game, and then if he doesn't figure it out, we can have that conversation. Well, let him go somewhere where he can flourish and thrive. I thought Buffalo was the perfect spot for him, honestly. And this dude is beasting too. I thought the perfect place, the perfect pick for Buffalo was Jason Owe. Adafi Owe out of Penn State. I said, that's the perfect dude for the Bills, off the edge. Fits that defense to a T. He went to Baltimore, and he's kicking ass. Well, you got Gregory Rousseau. That wasn't a bad consolation prize. And he made a hell of a play tonight, batting that ball in the air and picking it off. We saw him against the run. He's starting to make his presence felt. And the more comfortable he gets, the more dangerous he becomes. And it's just another guy that the Bills can throw at you in that rotation of guys. They need a dominant presence. Like I said, Jerry Hughes is long in the tooth now. So they don't have that alpha male amongst that group. They got a bunch of dudes they can throw at you, right? At least 3 or 4 ex-Carolina Panther players, F.A. Obata and Star Lotulelei and, Ed Oliver and, A.J. Epineza and all these dudes that they just rotate in and out. But you don't have a dog. Like, when we were playing, y'all, one of the things I was comfortable with, I was like, this is an aggressive and very active front. But they don't have a dog. They don't have that one guy you say, hey, we got to know where he is at all times. They don't got that dude. And we were able to block your front very successfully with no problems. He could turn into that alpha for you, that dog. I'm not a Boogie Basham fan. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was. He's got a weird frame. He's a hustle, try hard guy, but he doesn't have any elite traits. Does everything solidly, nothing great. He's a Pam Mom guy. Rousseau is the one for me. He's the one I look at and say, he's got a chance to be special and change the game for that defense. And he gave you a glimpse tonight. So that was fun to see. Vincent Coe, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Really appreciate you, Vincent Coe, who writes, Lou, I was listening to your live video, very stoned this afternoon. He says, and you were spitting some crazy fire takes for real. Appreciate your work, man. They were probably made crazier by the fact that you was lit listening to them. I probably was on one this afternoon, but it's just because of how disappointed I am. At this point, I'm not really mad, because mad is a fleeting emotion. When you upset, you can be upset for 10 minutes and then you over it. I'm disappointed. That shit lingers. When you disappointed, that shit lingers. When you lose in the championship, you're not mad. You're mad when you first lose. You sit at your locker, you cry maybe for 30 minutes. Then you're not mad anymore. Then the disappointment and the grief sets in. And that disappointment, that shit lingers for 2-3 months. Because disappointment is different. I always tell you guys and gals out there this. Being mad, I'd much rather be upset about something. Because I can get over that shit quickly. Give me a little bit of time. I'm good. Let's move on. But when I'm disappointed, I tell the young youth of America, you much rather make your parents upset than disappointed. Because if they're disappointed, that means they believed in you and they trusted you, and you somewhat severed that trust or bond or both. So when your parent says, man, I'm disappointed in you, that shit should sting. More so than, man, I'm upset. I'm mad. They can fuss at you. 25 minutes later, y'all eating dinner at the dinner table, joking and laughing. Because that shit goes away. When I'm disappointed, I don't really want to talk to you right now. I don't even really want to look at you right now because I'm that hurt by what you did. I'm disappointed with this team. So there's going to be more anger and rage that ultimately seeps through because, again, I wasn't one of those fans expecting 11-6 this year. That was never my move. I said this is a 7 to 10 win team. 7 is the floor, 10 is the ceiling, and anywhere in between, I'm good with it because that's what this team is in year 2 of Ron's plan. We can still hit 7 wins. 8 if the ball bounces our way and we get lucky. But it's how you do it. And in my mind, I was set that we were going to do this on the strength of this defense. Obviously, that isn't happening right now. Maybe it changes, but the likelihood is it doesn't. We're just not good defensively, and that's hard to stomach. It really is. Thank you for the super chat, though, Vincent Cole. Greatly appreciate you. Kevin O, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Kevin O. My guy, Kevin O, writes, exactly. It feels like 2019 all over, but the difference is we have so many players out with injuries. I think we make a late push when we get healthy. So I've been hearing this from a lot of Packers fans about the injury piece and still finding a way to win games, and that's great. It shows that you have tremendous depth. And, you know, the best thing about finding ways to win in the face of adversity of injuries is that at some point you expect to get healthy and get those guys back. And if they acclimate themselves well and they come back, you have a chance to really do something special. But again, I'm pretty sure you had injuries last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you won some games. I remember you winning against Jacksonville last year with Devontae Adams on one leg, and it was ugly, and you almost lost the game. But guess what? You won it. And I didn't feel any differently about that Packers team. I still felt like this is a dominant Packers football team. You went to Indy last year and lost. I didn't feel any differently about the Packers. I still said that to me is the best team in the NFC. I didn't feel any differently when you lost to Indy last year or when you almost lost to Jacksonville at home. I feel differently about this team this year. You've had injuries before. Yeah, you're missing some guys, and none bigger probably than Zadarius Smith. I'm aware. The injuries are there. But for the most part, the core nucleus is intact. None of your offensive skill guys, for the most part, are missing. You got Aaron Jones. You got Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got most of the guys that you need. You may be missing a guy here and there. Most of your injuries on the defensive side of the football. We'll see. I'm telling you how I feel. You're giving me 2019 vibes right now. That's how I feel about this team. I really feel like 2019 all over again. Like, this is fool's gold. And if you run into a bully, you're going to get punched in the mouth and you're not going to respond like in week 1. That's how I feel. You really haven't run into any bullies, right? This season. Like, I feel like if you played Tampa Bay right now, they would punch you right in your stomach. You would vomit and would not get up. And they would beat you just like they beat you last year in Tampa, like 38 to 17 or something like that. You guys got to show me otherwise. I'm not buying what y'all are selling right now. But we'll see, Kevin. Maybe those guys come back from injury and you do strengthen, the way that you're playing and become an even more dangerous football team. We'll see. Vincent Coe, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Vincent Coe, who writes, Roquan versus Edmonds 2021. Who you got, Lou? Roquan Smith? And are you talking about Tremaine Edmonds? I'm a Tremaine Edmonds guy. Like, that's not even up for debate. Tremaine Edmonds all day long, all day strong. So Oh, my hat got a little, it do that. I start talking and start getting off, and this is one of them hats. It's one of my old school joints right here, man. Been with me for a long time. He do whatever the hell he want to do. I put him on one way. He's like, nah, I don't feel like sitting like that right now. So hopefully it's a little straighter than it was 2 seconds ago. Let's see. I think that's the last super chat. We already hit our hour mark, so I'm about to glide to the side and let y'all get out of here. First of all, this game was super late anyway to begin with, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm not even going to stick around because we've been here for over an hour, and we dealt with a 4-hour game with that rain delay. So got a super chat here from Metaphor, and that'll take us out of here tonight. Thank you for the super chat, Metaphor. Greatly appreciate you as always. My guy Metaphor writes, TLH season rides on KC. If he wins, he's a starter. If he loses, back to Fitz. I don't like. I'm not putting that on one game. It's a body of work. And right now, he is 50-50. He's had 2 really good games. He's had 2 bad games. In the 2 good games, we won. In the 2 bad games, we lost. And I don't think we were going to beat Buffalo even if he played well. But this game was winnable. That's the part that it's hard to stomach losing when you should have won. The Saints were so banged up and there for the take. Like, the Saints were a shell of themselves. A completely healthy Saints team, and I don't know if we're good enough to beat them. But that's not what we got today. We got a Saints team limping into their bye week, just praying that they make it there. And we couldn't take care of business. That's pretty it's pretty disappointing. So I don't know if this game is a make or break for him. You know what I'm saying? I think that it wouldn't shock me if he played well. The Chiefs are bad defensively. Okay. So it wouldn't shock me if he went out here and scorched these boys. But he could come back the following week against Green Bay and wet the bed, and that's been the trend. And until you get some sort of consistency, he's no more than Ryan Fitzpatrick, just 10 years younger. That's it. So anyway, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. Big win by the Buffalo Bills. Man, they were so impressive tonight. Josh Allen is putting his bid in for MVP of the league. The defense was outstanding. They smothered and suffocated this Kansas City Chiefs offense, made them essentially one-dimensional. You want to run it? Be my guest. You're not going deep. You're going to have to check it down underneath and nickel and dime your way down the field. And like I said, it's one thing if the score is close and it allows the Chiefs to be patient. It's another thing when you start to run the checkup. They look at the scoreboard and they're down 14 or they're down, 17 or 18. Now that sense of desperation starts to set in, and now it's hard to remain patient. Hell of a game plan and execution by the Bills. I think we might be looking at the number 1 seed in the AFC. I'm not saying it's early. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, your man Louie T. Get off the bench, get in the game, and kick it with me, your man Louie T. As always, I really appreciate each and every single one of you joining me tonight. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button first and foremost for more great content. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And also hit the like button as that helps this channel grow immensely. Big win for the Bills. They're 4-1. Another loss for the Chiefs. Mahomes already has equaled his greatest interception total of his career this year at 6, and we're only 5 games in. It's going to be a struggle for these boys, but they've got the schedule to help them rebound if they can figure it out. We'll see if they're able to do that but they're now 2-3 and still at the bottom of the AFC West division. Didn't think I would be saying it after 5 weeks of football, but here we are. Chiefs still under 500, still bringing up the rear in the AFC West. We'll see if they can bounce back this week at Washington. I think they will, but only time will tell. That's going to do it for me. You guys, have a great night. Thank you for joining me. It was super late. I wasn't expecting this many of you. I really do appreciate you guys holding the kid down. Look forward to chopping it up with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully on the podcast later on today, but maybe tomorrow. In any event, God bless and good night.